Hello everyone, welcome back to the Talent 500 YouTube channel, and this is SDET interview series. I have created many more videos on the same series, so those links are in the description section. So I would definitely suggest you to go through those videos before coming to this one, because all those are interlinked. So yes, so stay with us and let us know your input if you have any in the comment section. Okay, folks, let's start with a very important session this time, and we are talking about automation framework related interview question. So before we start with this, let me tell you that framework is kind of a very important section, right? And if you are having an experience more than 3+ years, then definitely those questions will appear, because the interviewer would like to know that how much exposure you have regarding contribution towards the automation framework. Okay, so with that note, let's start with the automation framework related interview question and answer. And when I try to explain the answers, I will show you on my ID also, so it would be easy for you folks to understand, right? Okay, so our first question is how your team managing your automation test suits. Always remember, whenever the interviewer is asking this question, he is not only expecting from you that what are the automation suites you have, rather he is also expecting that you should explain a little bit on how specifically you are managing, or what kind of suite management you are implementing in your framework. So how to explain that? See, groups is kind of groups, you may have heard about this groups, right? Groups tag that comes with @test annotation helps us to manage our automation test suite, right? So TestNG allows us to perform this grouping of test methods, in which what we can do, we can simply define each and every test case, right, that it should be part of our sanity suite or regression suite, like that, right? So how you should answer? You should answer that like, okay, yes, our team has multiple automation test suite, for example smoke, sanity and regression. And when we have, as we have multiple test cases, so what we do, we segregate our test cases using group tag, and then those group we call it in our testng.xml file while creating the sanity and regression. So exactly what that mean, I will show you. Okay, for example, I have some test cases over here. For example, this is my test case, correct? So now I want to make this test case part of my smoke suite, correct? Then what I will do, I will just add over here group is equal to smoke suite, right? Group is equal to smoke suite. So now what happens, right? So now what happens, basically my this particular test case, get user data, is part of smoke suite now, correct? So now this is part of my smoke suite, correct? Now for example, I have another test case, validate get response body. I want to make it part of regression suite. Then what I will do, I will just use regression tag over here, right? Instead of smoke suite, what I will do, I will add regression, correct? So regression is added over here. So now this is part of my regression suite. So how I am managing my automation test suite? By using group tags and assigning each test case for a specific suite. So now there may be a situation where you need to, for example, this test case need to be part of both smoke and regression. Then what you will do, you will just use a curly brace and double quote, right? Insert quote. See, smoke suite, regression suite. So now this is how you are. So now this test case is part of smoke suite, this test case is part of smoke and regression both. Now what do we mean by that? By this we are understanding that whenever I execute smoke suite, then also this test case will get called. When I execute regression suite, then also this test case will get called, right? Isn't it interesting? There is one more cross question he may ask, that how you are calling those groups in your testng.xml. So to explain that, what you can do, you can explain him like this, that you are using something like this one. See, groups, right? You are using groups tag. Inside that run, include name, which suit you want to execute. For example, this one, regression suit. So you have multiple suit, right? Regression suit.xml, smoke suit.xml. So tell them that we have multiple .xml. For example, regression suit.xml, smoke suit.xml, and in each XML we use groups tag, run, include name, the tag that we have used. Just pay attention. This tag should be exactly same as what you have used over here. Don't do any mistake over here, or else it will not get called. Right? Hope that answers, right? So explain it in this way. It would help you to clear your fundamentals also, and at the same time the interviewer would be happy to know, right, that you have this kind of depth. Okay, I hope this one clears everything about managing your test automation suite. So the next question is a bit tricky. Okay, can you tell me about the type of class you have in utility package? So before answering this, explain what is a utility package. So utility package in Java is a package which contains various utility class and interfaces. Now utility class and interfaces means those classes are basically not specific to your project, right? Utility class always contains the methods or classes which are not specific to your project. Rather, those are common methods. Means those methods or classes can be consumed in another projects also. Let me give you an example. Excel reader, JSON reader, right? Screenshot utility, extend report utility, assertion service utility. All those are not specific to your project, right? Those are kind of common methods or common classes. So always give them those examples that usually in utility package we keep the classes. Those can be also consumed by other projects too, right? Sometime in fact in advanced automation framework we create this utility as a separate package and we consume that package into our test automation package. So that's a very interesting strategy. You can also try that, right? Okay, cool. Let me show you my utility class so you will have a better idea about it. If you can see, this is my utils package, right? I have constant class, I have extend report, I have fail retry, JSON array reader, JSON reader, property reader, retry listener, soft assertion utility. So if you notice, all those things are quite generic. Okay, those are not something like which is specific to my project. I don't keep any information about my project classes over here. Rather, those are the methods or classes which can be consumed by any projects, right? Any automation project can implement retry listener. Any automation project can fetch their data from a JSON file, and for which they will need JSON reader, right? I hope that makes sense for you folks also, right? Awesome. So now this is how you can answer to the question in about utility package. Correct? Okay. With that, let's move on to our next question. That is, how are you scheduling your automation suite execution? So there are 2 points to remember over here. Okay, there are 2 points to remember over here. Either you can tell them that, okay, I am not part of scheduling the automation suite. Rather, we have a DevOps team who are managing our automation suite scheduling using Jenkins or any CI/CD tool. Okay, just for your knowledge, the most used CI/CD tools these days are Jenkins, Circle CI, Bamboo, right? AWS code pipeline. So those are the famous CI/CD automation tools we have. But always remember that you have an escape path over here. Either you can say like, okay, I don't take care of those execution, rather our DevOps team used to take care. Or you can, if you have really worked on it, then you can say that yes, I am part of scheduling my job, and we do it using our Jenkins. So now when you say this, there will be a cross question. Definitely you can expect that how basically you are scheduling and what is the frequency you are executing your automation suite. Be very specific over here. Why? If you have never worked on it, you would have never thought about that how this thing works, right? Because in watching YouTube videos is not going to help you. If you have learned it by watching YouTube videos, then it would not help you like how you are going to really do it in real-time projects, right? So if you have not worked, you can escape it as I have told, or you can, if you have worked, then you can say that, okay, we used to execute once or twice a week and we call it as nightly automation suite execution, and we have scheduled it in our Jenkins using the cron expression. Always remember, whenever scheduling comes using Jenkins, we usually do it using cron expression, right? So now in cron expression there are 5 important fields. Okay, minutes, hours, day of the month, right? Month and day week. For example, those are kind of the patterns we follow while writing a cron expression. Okay, and how you can do that? You can go to any Jenkins shop, go to configure, and then build trigger, build periodically checkbox, and then schedule your time in this format. And the format we call it as cron expression. Okay, that's what you have to remember. Okay, how actually the formatting works and how actually it makes sense for you. Let me give you an example, right, to show you just how basically this cron expression looks like. Okay, I have written a very nice post on the same, and you can refer it, right, for your if you want to get more clarity on it. Definitely I would suggest you to refer this one. Exactly, it looks like this. Okay, see, can you see the screenshot? Configure, build triggers, build periodically, and you have to come over here and you need to put this 5 digit, and this 5 you are seeing over here on the screen, right? If I will click on this one, let me show you. See, right, schedule H9 star star star. So this first H is basically not is basically about the at what time you at what minute you want to execute. Second is the hour. Third is the day of the month. Fourth is the month in a year, right? For example, January, February, like that. And day of the week means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which day, right? So for if I want to show you that if I want to run my job daily at 11 p.m. For example, you can say that, okay, our job schedule is happening like daily, right? We used to execute our automation suite daily at 11 p.m. Then what would be your cron expression? 0, 23, star, star, star. Star, star, star means every day of the month, every day in a month, every month, and every day in a week. That's why star, star, star means every time, right? Every day. And first one is 0, that means right at 11.00. That means correct at 11 p.m. your automation suite will get triggered. 23 is 11 and it's 0. So this is hour, this is minute. So correct at 11 p.m. every night the automation suite will get triggered. So you can answer it in same way that we are using cron expression, right, inside the Jenkins by going into the option configure, build triggers, and build periodically checkbox, and then we use minute, hour, day of day in a month, month, and day week format to explain. If he asks like what is your cron expression, you can use this example. Right, you can check this is you can check it in on my blog also, automationreinvented.blogspot. You can go to that, and or else I will post it on the comment section, right? That would make more sense, I guess. Okay, I hope you folks have understood this section, right? Awesome. Let's move on to the next question. How do you calculate ROI for test automation? Very, very important. Very less people are talking about it, but trust me, if you have more than 5 years of experience, you can expect this question from the interviewer, that how you are making ROI calculation. So ROI is nothing but return on investment. Whatever effort you are putting for automation, whatever resources you are putting in a project for automation, are you able to get benefit out of it? So now to calculate this, what you need to do, you need to calculate that how much time you are saving by automating a test case. For example, there is a test case which takes around 5 minutes to execute manually. Now when you automate it, it takes around 1 minute to execute. So now in this case, you are saving 4 minutes. So the automation ROI would be time saved by automation, that means 4 minutes, divided by the investment. Investment is nothing but time required to build the framework plus maintenance cost or the time to code to X number of tests. For example, your automation framework had taken around, for example, let's assume, okay, 100 hours. And your maintenance would be some 10 hours. So 110 hours is your investment, and time saved, assume that 60 hours. Then your ROI would be 60 by 110. So the more number of time your automation will execute, the time save will also increase, right? How basically we do it? For example, you are saving 4 minutes for each test case and you have 100 test cases. So 400 minutes you have saved, right? So 400 minutes in one execution. That's what you have to focus, correct? So now 4 minutes you have saved for 400 minutes you have saved. That means it would be nearly about 400 divided by 60, so it comes around 6 hours, right? For example, just I'm taking a rough example, right? So 6 hours for each run, and we have just discussed in our previous question the daily execution. That means 6 into 30, 180 hours in a month you are saving, right? And slowly 180 divided by 110, right? So that's how you can calculate your total time saving. Correct. It's a very interesting thing, right? I have written a post on it, so I will try to paste that post over here so you folks will get more better idea. But do remember, ROI is an important aspect. Okay, at least have an idea that how ROI works, why we calculate ROI, right? Because if you want to expand your automation team, you have to provide ROI, or else it doesn't make sense. Correct. And if you have some ideas like, okay, in future I'm going to expand, then keep maintaining your ROI. Though your team is not maintaining, then start doing it, right? Because you can get a lot of attention for this task also. Okay, I hope that clears. Let's move on to the next question. Explain the challenges you faced while designing framework. So this is a very tricky question, right? This actually defines that how much exposure you have, and be honest with it. Okay, if you have not faced, and I would suggest explain your own challenges. Don't copy paste the challenge I am providing here. This is just an example I am giving you folks, so that you would be prepared like what kind of challenges you have faced. Don't say challenges like I have faced stale element exception, right? Those are not big challenges, right? Challenges would be like you have done something to automate the mobile OTP part, right? You are getting OTP on your mobile and you cannot do it, automate that section. So what means approach you have taken? Just giving an hypothetical example, right? Or example, you're working on some service API testing and some section or some component is not owned by third party, so you have come up with an idea to mock that section, right? So those are a kind of very important challenges which you can discuss. And always whenever you are explaining the challenges, keep in mind that you have to provide the solution that you have proposed for it, right? And make sure that what impact you got also, that one I will explain later. I guess I have one question on that. No, so let me explain that over here also. So whenever you are saying that, okay, this challenge I have faced and this is the solution I have provided, expect the cross question that have you tried any another solution for it? How you have decided that this would be the optimum solution, right? So expect those questions. At least if you are targeting product companies, be ready to answer those cross questions too, right? So whenever that's why I told you, be honest. So whenever you are honest, you don't have to bluff the things, right? This is just an example I have given, right? So that doesn't mean that everybody will follow this exact example. Come up with your own example, own statement. It would make more sense for you, right? I hope that one is clear for you folks. Let's go to the next question. What is the reporting structure you use in your framework? Very important, right? So you can explain like what HTML reporting you folks are managing in your own framework, right? For example, I am giving the example of extent reporting. This is the kind of most used one. There is one more LO report is also there. So extent report integration, you can tell that, okay, we have integrated extent report, and you can give them a little bit of idea around it, right? So you can give an idea around it, that how basically your extent report works. Now, so for example, you can say like I have created one extent report class where we have initialized the things, then to fetch the information from extent report, from testng to extent report, we have defined it in base test class, right, in the after method, and in the after suit we are kind of closing the extent report instance. So all those things you can explain in over here, right? And you can also say that how you have created a proper reporting day-wise format, right? All those things you can explain. So give them a little bit of idea like how you have explained. And if you want to know or understand my extent report structure, you can comment in the video, right? If I will get enough comments, I will create a separate session on what basically this extent report implementation happened and what I have done to make it work, right? In a better way. I have used patterns also, some patterns also over here, so I can explain in a separate session maybe. But yes, overall that's what you need to explain, right? That what kind of things you are going to do, right? What kind of approach you have taken, and where you are saving the HTML report, right? How exactly your HTML report looks like, what are the data you are sharing in your extent report, right? All those things you can explain. And one additional input, you can also say that how frequently you are sharing your HTML report with your clients, right? Maybe in your WSR means weekly status report, or in your DSR means daily status report. You can explain this terminology. Why I am saying this, folks? Because if you explain those terminology, it will give you it will give the interviewer a confidence that you have worked in a real-time scenario more closely, right? And that will add a lot of value to it. Correct. And always remember, whenever you are explaining HTML reporting, right, whenever you're explaining HTML reporting, there may be a cross question for you, that have you implemented this HTML reporting in your framework, or it has been already implemented? So be honest about it, right? If you have implemented, then that's fine. If you have not implemented, then tell them that okay, the structure was already there, right? I'm just using it. But still they may ask you that how it works. In that case, you have to tell that okay, we have extend report class, we have called it in base test, right? All those things you need to explain, and have a little bit of format knowledge, that how basically your extend report looks like. That is quite important, folks. Okay, if you don't explain them that how your extend report looks like, see, this is my extend report. My extend report looks like this. I'm just giving you a visual, right? So whenever you go for an interview, you will have more clarity, right? This is how my extent report looks like. Correct. So you can explain this one, that okay, my extent report also looks like this. We have something called as graphical view, something which looks like this one. Correct. It will add a lot of value. Correct. I hope that it has helped, right? Whatever questions we have discussed. If you want, I can take, there are a lot of questions on test framework. I can take another session on framework interview question. Do comment comment that what session you need next, maybe on the extent report part, on a detailed session on extent report, or another session on test automation framework, right? Anyone would be fine. Just let us know so that it would help. And if you are looking for SDET jobs or automation jobs, then do check out Talent 500 website. It's quite cool, right? There are very high paying jobs over there, my personal opinion. Okay folks, I hope you folks have enjoyed the session, right? I hope you guys have liked the session, and I have created a lot of series on SDET, so do go and check those out. And please subscribe to the Talent 500 YouTube channel, so that next time when we prepare a interview series, you guys will be notified about it. Till then, take care, bye bye, and do remember, if you have any doubt, put it in the comment section.